Southern California, welcome to Money Matters with Dino. Saturdays from noon to 1, right here on Power Players Radio, KTLK AM1150. Do you own a home or have plans to in the future? You'll get all the information you need to know about what's happening in the local real estate market and how to take advantage of that knowledge. How to approach home ownership or mortgage financing with design, vision, and focus, as well as accurate information. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, listen to Money Matters with Dino right here on Power Players Radio, KTLK AM1150.
Welcome to Money Matters with Dino, the most important hour of radio for Southern Californians every week. My name is Dino Katsiametis, and I want to thank you for joining today's conversation. Sounds like a bold thing to say, the most important hour of radio, but if you're listening right now, I guarantee that by the time this show is over, you'll learn something valuable. If you go to my website, moneymatterswithdino.com, you'll see the tagline, From Your Estate to Real Estate, where your money matters. That title pretty much sums up what our show is all about. It's about money, your money. My goal and purpose for this show is to educate you regarding your money. That can be anything from buying and selling homes to the stock market or even starting a new business. How do I do this? I seek out top professionals in the marketplace and I have them share their years of experience and knowledge with you. Now, I know real estate and I'm a lifelong entrepreneur. I even have knowledge in some other fields, but I don't consider myself an expert in all these other areas of business. Therefore, on this show, I bring you respected professionals that are experts in their fields because it's critical to me that I provide you with accurate and up-to-date information, and I take that very seriously. Before I get to what we have in store for you today, I want to share with you this week's words of wisdom. The entrepreneur always searches for change, responds to it, and exploits it in an opportunity. Peter F. Drucker. Okay, so why these words of wisdom this week? Well, there's another truth that you may have heard, and it's that there are more millionaires made in a depression than any other time. Why? Because a true entrepreneur sees everything as an opportunity. So when the rest of the world is panicking, the entrepreneur sees a world on sale. Imagine buying and holding stocks after the crash, only to sell when the market eventually goes up again. Or picture yourself buying real estate during a time when it's rock bottom and cheap to borrow money. Think about what it would be like to buy into your dream business at a bargain price. As an entrepreneur myself, I don't think about buying and selling stocks and buying and selling property at the right time and all that. To me, that's a little bit of wisdom, knowledge, common sense, and quite honestly, a little bit of dumb luck. But an entrepreneur to me is somebody who creates something and get something going that doesn't already exist out there, a way to make money at something. And there's a certain excitement level that comes along with being an entrepreneur. And it's the risk of it that nobody else can do. That's why, to me, entrepreneurs are so special. And that's another reason why we have the people we have here on the show today. So here's another thought. What do you do during a time when the dollar is valued low and there's a ton of foreign money coming into California to buy at a discount? More on that in a bit. Like I mentioned before, my expertise is in growing and managing wealth using the vehicle of real estate. Having decades of experience and extensive knowledge in helping people with their real estate needs has convinced me that real estate is still one of the many and best ways to grow a steady and secure portfolio of wealth. But that's not the only one, and that's why I call the show Money Matters. The other, and I think the greater reason, is that money affects your quality of life. Every financial decision you make affects every aspect of your life, from where you live to how you live. And if you're a family man like me, it also affects if and where you can send your kids to college. Think about that. Every financial decision you make today will affect your quality of life tomorrow. Decisions that will affect what neighborhood you live in, what schools your kids will go to, if your kids will be able to play an organized sport or even learn an instrument. I know that sounds silly, but it's not. All these things cost money, and I know as well as anybody does that you don't want to say no because of money, but too many of us have to too much of the time. Money, when managed properly, will enable you to say yes, and more importantly, understanding money, whether it's in the stock market, real estate, or stuffed under your mattress, can protect you from the turbulent times like we recently experienced in the past few years. Here's something I love to say, and you're going to hear me say it often, and this is coming from a guy that loves real estate. Don't just get real estate rich, get rich. And we're going to teach you how. I hope you enjoy the show. So co-hosting with me today is my producer, Phil Giagrande. How's it going, Phil?
What's going on, man?
You know, I like that voice. I was listening to the show last week, and when I asked you how you were, you had that sultry.
I put it on like Soul Train. This is my Soul Train voice.
Who's that guy? The singer that had the real deep Barry White.
Barry White.
Yeah. So let me ask you the question again. Do a little Barry White for me.
Yeah.
Hey Phil, how's it going?
Hey baby, how you doing?
Wow.
That's the best you're going to get.
All right. Good enough. That's all I really want, though. All right. So, hey, Phil, in studio today, we got Billy Torbitt, owner of Newport Yacht Service, and Andrew Karigan from Teles Properties. In our next segment, they'll be joining us as our panel of experts. Today, we're addressing an extremely important topic, foreign money, how to attract and capture this lucrative opportunity. Welcome to the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Thanks for throwing that in for me, Phil.
Yeah, no problem.
I wish I could do the accent though.
The Robin Leach.
The Robin Leach accent.
That'd be awesome.
Welcome to the. How do you? I do it for me.
Don't do it. I
Come
can't
on.
do it. I can't. If I could do it, I would have done it.
All right, maybe we should get him on the phone. I think he's taking gigs now. Anyways, our experts are true entrepreneurs. They're selling yachts, they're selling real estate, they're selling them to foreign investors who are coming into California and all too willing to part with their money. So don't miss out on that next discussion. And as always, our last segment is the Ask Dino segment, where Phil will ask me questions that you have either Facebooked us or emailed us. And I'll use my extensive and personal experience to make certain your questions are answered correctly and in a way that's simple to understand. Now, if you have any questions for me or you'd like to get in touch with any of our guests, you can give us a call at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616, or you can check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. Use us as your resource for wealth. So, Phil, foreign money, I know you did a little bit of research on this. Tell me what you know, what you learned.
All right. Well, here's a quote that pretty much says it all. In Southern California, many cities are seeing solid money flowing in from Asian countries. Buyers from mainland China and Hong Kong are snapping up luxury homes, often paying cash in major cities such as New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Chinese interests in U.S. real estate began climbing during the U.S. housing meltdown, of course, when plunging properties prices made the U.S. a magnet for global buyers. Today, interest is growing as a rising yuan, up more than 8% since mid-2010, gives the Chinese greater purchasing power, and the mainland's restrictions on property purchases encourages them to look overseas. So that's kind of what the situation is. I mean, they're only allowed to spend up to, I think, $50,000 on any one purchase, but they've got all this money. So they come over here, our dollar is low, our property is cheap. They're just having a field day.
Yeah, and this isn't new, right? It's been going on for a long time. The Japanese did it years ago. Right. And then all people from all sorts of other countries are doing this as well.
And we do it when our dollar is strong and other people's currency is weak. That's the way it kind of works. But the point is, we've got people on here that are perfect to talk about this, because the whole idea of entrepreneurship is be ready for every change in the, just always be looking for changes in how the market's gonna go and how you can take advantage of it, because people are always making money. There's always a possibility.
Yeah, and that's what I like about both of our guests. Andrew, the real estate agent, is going to be on a little bit later. You know, he I don't want to say he specializes in them, but I know a big portion of his clientele are out of the country buyers, and it's neat when you talk to them, because they come in and they're here for X amount of days, and they're going to find a multi-million-dollar property, and they're going to pay cash for it. And then the other guy, Billy, he's a real interesting guy when you meet him. He actually used to be in the mortgage business for years, and I guess apparently wore a suit and tie, which I really have a hard time picturing, because the guy shows up in shorts and a flip-flop and a baseball cap turned backwards. But you know what? He's the yacht guy. He's a boat guy. That's what he does.
Nice.
So, and he, the majority, when I met him, he told me the majority, 95, I think he said, % of his clientele are from Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he has Asian buyers as well, but Australia and Canada.
Are they sailing the boats back to Australia from here?
That's what's interesting. In fact, when I first met the guy, actually, funny quick story. We were at a restaurant in Laguna Beach on a Sunday afternoon, and it was really packed. And my wife and I were there, and we have a baby, and this table opened up at the bar while we were waiting for our table for lunch, right? So we quickly ran over there, and Billy and his fiance also tried to grab it real quick. Fortunately, we had the baby, and we get the sympathy vote, and we got the table. But Billy and I started talking, and he ended up being a pretty interesting guy. When I asked him what he did, he said he was in the shipping business, which is interesting, right? Because, and this is the part I found, which I guess we should save it for him, but basically he tears apart the boat. He takes it apart and ships it back to where it's going.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Let's wait. I guess let's let him tell that story, right? That's what he's here for.
Right.
You're listening to Money Matters with Dino. If you have any questions about anything you heard today, or you'd like to inquire about a refinance or purchase of a home, give me a call. I'm at 949-720-1616, and let me help you make the best real estate decisions for you and your family. That's 949-720-1616, or check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. Coming up after the break, our panel discussion with our experts. Joining us today is Billy Torbitt, owner of Newport Yacht Service.
When it comes to purchasing or refinancing your home, turn to someone with experience, CHL Mortgage. It doesn't matter if you're a first-time home buyer, purchasing the home of your dreams, or refinancing. The team of mortgage specialists at CHL Mortgage provide you with superior knowledge and service. Their ultimate goal? Getting the highest quality loan at low rates. Their second goal? To create a lasting relationship with every client and continue to provide excellent service for years to come. If you're looking to purchase or refinance, call the experts at 888-814-3335. That's 888-814-3335. Get additional details at www.chl.cc or call their office at 888-814-3335.
Alliance Portfolio is a licensed real estate broker. California DRE broker license 01868859, NMLS 324460.
Are you looking to diversify or add real estate secured investments to your portfolio? Did you know that investing in trust deeds can provide a better return with better security than many other alternate investments? For over 20 years, Alliance Portfolio has been providing the highest quality mortgage fund and trust deed investment opportunities with first-class service and communication. Alliance Portfolio offers well underwritten loans, low loan-to-value ratios, and all secured by prime Southern California coastal community real estate. At Alliance Portfolio, we don't just lend money, we lend our expertise. Call 949-349-1322 today to capitalize on a special opportunity. That's 949-349-1322. Investors, when our job is done, your job is easy. Sit back and capitalize. 949-349-1322.
Welcome back to Money Matters with Dino. If you have any questions for me or my guests, or if you need help with your money matters, give us a call at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616, or you can check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. This next segment has been brought to you by Alliance Portfolio, high-yield, low-risk investment funds utilizing Southern California real estate. And if you guys haven't or don't know what this is, trust deed investments is something that in the past only the wealthy did, but Alliance Portfolio has created a mortgage fund that anybody can basically invest in with as little as $5,000. And in essence, you own a small piece of interest in trust deeds that are secured by million-dollar homes with ocean views. Not always, but quite a few, especially with Alliance Portfolio. That's what they specialize in is Southern California coastal communities. I know a lot about this space, so if you have any questions about it, just give me a call at 949-720-1616, and I'll explain to you how it works or put you in touch with Alliance Portfolio. Joining us today in our discussion panel with the experts is Billy Torbitt, owner of Newport Yacht Service, and Andrew Karigan from Teles Properties down in Newport Beach. So, guys, I'm glad you guys came up today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Billy, let's start with you. We're going to be talking about foreign money, how to attract and capture this lucrative opportunity. You know, I was telling everybody earlier that, I met you at the restaurant, and you originally had said that you're in the shipping business, but what do you ship? And ironically, you ship yachts on a ship. But anyway, so tell us about what you do.
Like you said, I'm in the shipping business, and all I do is my Australian clients, when they find a boat here, they call me up, and I package the boat up, take it apart, disassemble it, put it on a big container ship, and ship it to them. And
how much do you have to disassemble it?
It depends on what the client wants, because their cost is on cubic meters. So smaller the cubic meters, smaller the price. Okay. So it's really dependent upon how much they want to spend.
But is it literally like they take off the entire top?
Yes.
And it goes into various pieces, like as if a manufacturer was putting a whole boat together again, right?
Correct. And we're basically disassembling it as it came from the factory. The hard top, either we cut it off, or if it has bolts and different various things, and take it off and build a crate for it.
And the cost of doing that, shipping it, and putting it back together is still less than what they can pay for it over there?
Correct. Yeah, they're saving about 30-40%.
Wow, that's crazy.
God,
high taxes over there.
That is true.
And the bulk of your business is Australians?
Correct. About 95% of my business.
Okay, and would you say that's indicative of the rest of the industry, or is that just because that's where the space you've fallen into?
It's a space I fall into primarily because that's what I was introduced to when I got in the business.
Okay.
And just built my reputation on that.
There's still quite a few Asian buyers, though, right?
Correct, yeah. I have about a handful of Asian buyers that buy about 15 to 20 boats a year from me, and I ship them to them over in Korea, China, Japan.
Wow.
And now Russia.
And Russia.
Yeah.
Billy, is it true that prices are about 30% higher in comparison from Australia to the U.S.?
It's more like 40%.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Andrew, what about you, bud? This is your second time on the show.
Away we go again.
Here we go. For those of you that didn't hear Andrew the first time he was on, he does one mean impersonation that he promised me he was going to do again later. But Andrew, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ in Greek.
That's right. I forget. This is my brother from another mother, a Greek guy over here. Of course, he doesn't have the entire language mastered, just a few words.
Hey, prove you wrong on that one.
Okay. Anyway, so what portion of your business is foreigners?
It's growing. It's growing quite a bit because there are a lot of people offshore coming in, and they are spending cash in the U.S. They see real estate at discount prices in comparison to their homelands. Right now, I'm in escrow with Chinese national and an Australian national by chance. Yeah. And so just talking to them, learning about what's happening there, and they're seeing pricing in comparison to, for example, my buyer from Shanghai, where you get just a hovel for what she's paying for on a single-family home here in Irvine. So it's amazing.
Now, a lot of people get upset about this, but it's good because it's still driving up our local economy. Like, it's driving up the housing prices, and that's good for everybody, isn't it? Or
it's great for our economy, period.
Yeah.
They're spending money.
Yeah.
They're spending money, keeps the economy churning.
Now, do these people actually come here and physically touch, smell, and everything else a normal, or I shouldn't say normal, anything else one of our local clients would do or residents, or do they just do it all online?
Interesting you ask that, Dino, because I'll tell you an amazing story. I'm still amazed that it happened back in December, and I believe it was right after Thanksgiving, after the elections. I could tell there was a shift. I could just feel it in the air, and I had listed a home for $3,590,000 in the Newport Coast area that quite a few other agents and clients were saying, you're overpriced. I had broker preview, you're overpriced. At 3.5, I'm getting offers at the max at 3. So I'm thinking, we're overpriced. And all of a sudden, I was contacted by a potential buyer from Hong Kong who saw my photos, my professional photos, they were really nice photos, online through Trulia, and said, I'm interested in your property. I had been to that community once, seen the community myself, but never saw the home. Bought the home, $3,590,000, paid $3,550,000 cash, never stepped foot in the home.
Wow.
The first time he saw it, this was December, the first time he saw it was at the final walkthrough. And when he arrives at the door in his Mercedes with his entourage of other people, I walk him through the home, and I'm thinking, this home is already sold. I don't have to sell it. And it's the final walkthrough, and all he could say to me after the tour was, better than I expected. And I thought, wow. And I've done this several times. A guy in Vancouver bought a home for me, sight unseen, wired the money cash, and I met him a week and a half later at Fashion Island, said the same thing, better than expected. So
for those people in our own country, in our own state, in our own city who don't think it's a good time to go out and buy or go out or sell your property, you need to be listening to this right now because that's amazing.
Well, he's going to use this home 2 months a year. How about that? And maybe buying more. And then 2 weeks later, I did another listing in that same community, and it was going to go on the Monday after Thanksgiving holiday. I had flown in from Hawaii Saturday night. I'm used to working 7 days a week. It's Sunday of Thanksgiving holiday, which is normally very quiet. And I was bored, and I grab a few open house signs, and I stick them out in front of this house, open the door, and I call a few buyers and just see what happens. Within an hour of opening that door, another Chinese national who actually lived in the U.S., but most of his money was coming out of China, came in 3 times during the open house, bought the house that day, cash at full price, the day before I was going to put it on the market. That was 2 weeks after that other deal. So it's happening, and you feel it, and, that's what's going on.
If you're listening right now and you have questions, either for me or our experts on the show today, do not wait. These are top professionals, and they're offering their advice for free. Give us a call at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616, or you can check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. So, Billy, we were just, sight unseen, Andrew was saying that a lot of people have, but what about boats? Are people doing the same with boats, or are they coming and test driving?
No, they buy them sight unseen. They take my advice on what it looks like and my reports, and they buy them sight unseen.
And you amaze me because you don't even have a website. You just all your business is referral based.
I do not advertise. All referral based.
Okay, next question then. What's attracting these foreign buyers? I mean, is it the good weather in California? Is it the taxes? Is it a place to park money? What is it?
I think people for years and years and years have always wanted a piece of the California dream, and now that prices have been depressed over the past few years and prices have risen in their homelands, that they're saying this is our opportunity. Grab it while you can before prices are going up. So that's what's going on.
The Gold Coast, huh?
The Gold Coast, selling the Gold Coast.
To answer your question about the boats, though, I mean, 7 years ago, the Australian dollar was so low. When they buy anything, it costs them so much to buy it overseas. Now they're pretty much equal to where we are. They're 96 cents to our dollar. So they're getting things for almost equal value and saving 50%, 60, 40% on taxes.
Wow.
By bringing it in the country.
So on the boat side, do they pay cash for them, or do they finance them?
No financing, all cash.
Is financing difficult for boats these days, or is it
Very
still
difficult.
available? It is difficult.
And it's not available to overseas buyers.
Really?
No.
Now, I know it's interesting on obviously doing home loans myself, being my profession. Doing loans for foreign buyers is extremely difficult. Up until now, I've only been able to do them with hard money, private money type deals where you got to put down, 40, 50%, and you're going to have a high rate and, pay some points. But recently, I've been able to put together an agreement with a big bank that they're doing it for me. As long as the buyer comes in with 50% down, they're going to get a loan in the low fives with like 1 point, which is, I think, extremely reasonable and doable, right? So if anybody's listening out there and you have an issue like this, then give me a call. We're at 949-720-1616, and I can help you out with that. All right, next question. Are there any special pre-qualifications you need to do on behalf of the sellers to make sure their money is actually available? And I'll preface that with an agent that I work with a lot. She sold it was almost a $3 million home in Yorba Belinda. It was in escrow, and at the final moments, the guy could not get the cash out of his country. How often does that happen?
In every single one of my listings, there's a notation in the agent comments that says, if cash offer, funds must be available, proof of funds in a USA bank account, no exceptions. Because of that situation.
So
we've all sort of had that difficulty, and the sellers who I've worked with do not want to face that. So would rather safeguard it. So it's very clearly stated, so there's no question.
And, Andrew, on the home part, the one that in particular that I was talking about, the home was in Yorba Belinda. With these foreign buyers, are they very particular about they need something with an ocean view or... or is it doesn't really matter, this is California?
It's view and it's school system. So it's the ocean view, it's the glamorous view, and it's also the school system. Irvine, for example, has the best public schools in their mind.
If they're foreigners, though, and they're coming over for just a couple of months, what does that matter?
It matters for their resale.
Okay, so they actually look at these.
And also they may be sending their kids here to either live or go to school, either college, high school.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Because then they're gearing up for it when the time does come.
Right. Correct.
Billy, tell me, when someone buys a yacht, do they leave it with you to ship, or do they drive it up themselves? I mean, how does that work? I know, like Phil, for example, when he buys his new Fiat, he likes to drive it off the lot.
I do, good solid Fiat.
You got to feel it. I mean, how many other people are shipping versus coming and taking a trip back home with it? Or is that not even doable? Can somebody take a 60-foot yacht?
No.
They can't.
No, everything's always shipped.
Everything.
Yeah. Unless you get into the 200-foot range or 150-foot range and you want to spend the money, you can do it.
And in that case, they'll probably just hire a team, right? To
hire a crew.
Crew. Okay. You're listening to Money Matters with Dino. If you have any questions at all about anything you've heard here today, give us a call at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616, and let us help you. This is a very special market of buyers and sellers. Therefore, my recommendation is to put together a team that really knows the industry, knows the market, and understands your needs. If you would like some help putting that team together in your area, call me. I'll help you. Call us at 949-720-1616 or check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. We'll be right back.
Finally, a reputable legal firm. CDA Law Center, a nationally recognized nonprofit homeowner advocate, one of the most trusted firms in the country for helping consumers with their loan modification process. CDA's attorneys have decades of combined experience guiding their clients through the very complex and choppy waters of loan modification. Call 877-499-4435, 877-499-4435. Finally, honest and ethical advice to gain real results. Call CDA Law Center at 877-499-4435. That's 877-499-4435.
Mortgage professionals, are you looking for a company that values you as a loan officer? One that can provide you with the tools you need to grow your business at your pace? Then look no further than CHL Mortgage. CHL Mortgage provides you with a full range of residential loan products and services. You'll be backed by an exceptionally trained team of professionals that can take your clients as seriously as you do. Your clients will be treated with dedicated service, personal integrity, and exceptional professionalism. You'll be able to guide them in the right loan with competitive rates and keep them on the road to achieving life's goals. To get started on advancing your career, call Dino with CHL Mortgage at 949-720-1616. That's CHL Mortgage, 949-720-1616.
Welcome back to Money Matters with Dino. If you have any questions for me or my guests, or if you need help with your money matters, give us a call at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616. You can also check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. This next segment has been brought to you by Citywide Home Loans, bringing you low rates, specials on closing costs, and exceptional service. We're in the middle of our panel discussion with the experts, and if you're just tuning in, we're having an incredible discussion about foreign money, how to attract and capture this lucrative opportunity. Of course, if you missed any part of the show, you can go to moneymatterswithdino.com and check it out in its entirety, or even on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Power Players Radio. With me today is Billy Torbitt, owner of Newport Yacht Service, and Andrew Karigan from Teles Properties. So, guys, again, thanks for staying with us. I have a few more questions here for you. One of them is so guys, if you know the answer to this, what are the tax implications for a foreign buyer in U.S. properties?
It is really more when they sell the property. And I've had direct experience. I had a seller who had bought a property before I knew him in Corona Del Mar for $3 million. And then he decided to pull the money out because he was going to invest elsewhere in the world. I think he was building factories in China. He was from Turkey. And it came time to sell the home. So we sold it. We sold it at a pretty good price. And all of a sudden they told him about the taxes he owed to the U.S. government. And it was just shock waves. And it was a lot of money. And so it's really more, I think, on the selling side, not so much when you buy.
Is it on the capital gains portion of it, or is it different?
No, it's just a flat whatever. I believe it's just like a 10% of whatever you sell it at.
Really?
Yeah, it's steep.
Wow. All right, next question. Can a seller get a higher price for their property or boat if selling to a foreigner? I mean, Andrew, you, for example, earlier you told a little story about your home that everybody else told you was overpriced, and all of a sudden a foreigner came in and paid the price. Mm-hmm. Do you ever? I
wonder if he's listening. Oh, sorry.
Do you take listings knowing, hey, this is the perfect home for a foreign investor?
Absolutely.
And you market according to what you think the price bears for them.
I leave no stone unturned. I market worldwide, and I really focus, on the internet where you reach buyers from all over the world: Russia, Hong Kong,
wow,
Australia.
Yeah. And is it the type of thing where, with people like that, if they love the house, they're going to get it no matter what? Because to them, an extra $300,000 doesn't mean anything.
I think if it has certain attributes like an amazing view or something very special, they will grab it at a premium.
Yeah, so I guess cost is relative if it's, it's to the person.
They see the benefits.
Right. Mm-hmm. What about yachts?
It doesn't apply because I deal with the repo market, and with the repo market, they want the cheapest price.
Gotcha.
On the boat, and there's 10 people lined up to buy the same boat, so there's no you can't mark them up.
So Billy, what about the Newport Beach yacht show or boat show, whatever it's called? It's an annual thing. It brings in thousands of people, and apparently, what's that?
Looky-loos.
A lot of looky-loos?
Yeah.
But is that, and I remember reading something about it a few years ago when the market was a lot more depressed, that the turnout wasn't as good, and the looky-loos were more, just looking. Has that turned around at all now? Is the local economy buying a little bit more?
They are buying a little bit more, but it's due to the people that are selling the boats, the retail side, they're actually loosening up on their prices. Where, in 07, 08, they still wanted the premium prices. They still wanted 10% commissions. They weren't willing to budge on that. Now they are.
And do you think any of that has to do with the fact that so many of those repos hit the market, and now they could go out and buy a used boat that's really still fairly new? Because with a boat, a certain amount of hours doesn't constitute used, really. It's just it's broken in now, right?
That's exactly why the prices on new boats have come down, is because there are so many repo boats out there that you could buy for, half price.
Right.
And yeah, a lot of people want new boats, but you don't want to pay new money.
If you just jumped into your car, you're listening to Money Matters with Dino, and we have our special guests here today, Billy Torbitt and Andrew Karigan, telling us all about foreign money and foreign investors. You can reach us at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616. Billy, tell me a little bit more about this boat show. How many days is it? How many people does it bring? Is it good for a family to go to just for fun?
That's a great thing to do for fun because you get to see a lot of boats that you can't afford. It lasts Thursday through Sunday. The busiest days are going to be, your Saturday and Sunday. Thursday's real slow, so if you want to go with the family and just enjoy it, go on a Thursday.
And what are the average boats there? What size? What are they going for? Or is it just kind of everything?
It's everything, 15 foot to 100 foot.
So going back to the foreigners, since that's really the topic of our show, what's the average size that foreign investors or buyers, I should say, are buying, and what kind of boats?
Size is going to be anywhere from 30 to 45 foot.
Oh, really? So that's still. I still picture those as small. I always picture 50 foot and above is kind of like where the luxury truly begins.
That's where the money begins.
That's where the money begins.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there a particular boat that they're all buying up?
It's changed a couple years ago. Australians, they love Bayliners, which is like a Pinto over here, but they love them.
It's a dressed up Pinto though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now they're getting into Sea Rays and, Silvertons and stuff like that. But
so I'm just going to go ahead and call it out right here because I have an infatuation in the boat that I want, which I will have one day, is the 50-foot Sunseeker Manhattan. I just think that is the hottest boat out there right now.
It's a good-looking boat.
It is a good-looking boat, huh?
50 foot's a little small, but it's a good boat.
Gosh. All right, 60. Size matters. Size does matter, huh?
In the boating industry, yes.
So let's see. What's the next question we got here? We get reports that many high-end homes are being bought up with foreign money. Are foreign buyers purchasing a lot of high-end homes for vacation, or are they also buying investment homes for $200,000, $300,000, $400,000?
They're buying investment homes. I'm going to give you an example. I was up in Vancouver last weekend, and Vancouver is also known as Hongcouver. A lot of people from Hong Kong had come out there or Van Kong, the other way around it. And I have one of my best friends is a realtor in Vancouver, and he was telling me, we were sitting at the Westin Bay Shore having drinks, and he was telling me a Chinese buyer came into Vancouver and literally went around with him for 2 hours in a car and just picked houses. Didn't even go inside, and bought 10 in a 2-hour period.
Wow.
And if he noticed they weren't feng shui, he could kind of tell feng shui, direction of the home, direction, staircase. You could kind of look through the windows. He'd say skip or yes, and literally bought them cash, 10 in a shot.
Wow. Well, so, we were talking about entrepreneurs earlier. To me, as soon as I hear that, I keep thinking to myself, so a management company would probably be a good company to like really target market those buyers, right?
Yes, without a doubt.
And is that a big business out here now?
Katsiametis Property Management Company.
Yeah.
I'm in your business on that.
I'm feeling it.
It's coming.
You're stepping on my toes, man. I want to babysit these mansions while they're away.
Actually, so that brings okay. So I have a question. Years ago, I met this guy, and he had the best gig going ever. He had hooked up with this company that they dealt with luxury homes. That when it was a staging company, basically, but so they would go in, totally remodel the thing, and because it was vacant, people didn't live there, they would allow this guy, he was a single guy, the rules were he couldn't bring anything in except for his clothes, and he always had to leave the house spotless, and he had to be able to get out within 30 days at any given time. Yep. And all they did was transfer him from house to house. And he lived in literally, like the house that I saw, it was a $4 million house up on the hill in Laguna Beach with the most insane ocean view ever. And he was paying $1,000 a month.
Sign me up.
That's exactly right.
So that's happens.
Happening. It is. In fact, I had a guy propose me 3 of my listings, 2 of which were occupied. He didn't know. And he said, I recently sold my home, bought another home. It's under construction. I need a home for me and my furniture. It's beautiful furniture. I'll send you pictures of my furniture. So you can stage the home. I'll live there either free or inexpensively. Get out when a showing takes place. Always have it dusted and ready, show ready. And he's ready to do it. So I'm passing out his number to one of my home sellers.
Right. So right there, if anybody has any interest in being one of those guys, call me up, bring $1,000 in cash. Meet me on the corner, and I'll put you in touch with Andrew.
That is lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
I'm just joking. If you can see me winking right now.
Dino has his suitcase packed. I can tell he's ready to move in.
And in these,
we take babies.
So as far as maintaining these vacation homes, I know there's a management company and everything, but earlier you made a comment of 2 months out of the year. And
he leaves it empty the rest of the year. And
it just is that normal, or do they actually rent most of these out?
It is normal. Oh, Dubai. We've had the Dubai money coming in for a while now. Now it's China, but Dubai's been doing that for a while, especially in the Newport Coast area, where they come during their hot weather in the summer, and they'll come for 2 months out of the year and leave these mega McMansions empty for 10 months.
You're killing me. You're actually killing me.
All right, so in the last, we don't want Phil to die on us because we're almost done with the show. So in the last couple minutes here of the discussion, instead of me asking a question, just tell me a good story. Tell me something funny that's come up that you think people would enjoy.
Billy?
Yeah, Billy, you go first.
I have 0 funny stories.
Yes, you do.
That
smirk on your face tells me it's really good.
I think Billy's got something to tell, but he won't tell us.
No funny stories.
Well, okay, I got a question for you then. When you dismantle the boat and ship it off, I think I heard somebody ask you this question earlier, that's why I'm going to ask it again. What do you pack underneath it that that the dogs can't smell or? I mean, there's got to be an alternative thing here that makes you. You told me you golf twice a week.
It's filled with
and you
money.
wear flip flops every day. You're doing something more than dismantling boats and shipping them empty.
Yeah, but I can't disclose that.
Smart.
No, just joking.
Just kidding.
What about you, Andrew? You know what? Forget the story. Do the impersonation. The same impersonation you did last time you were here.
Okay, so years back when I was trying to figure out real estate and trying to get my name out there, I was big on the internet when a lot of realtors didn't even know how to touch a computer. I came from technology, so I was really pumping the computer and getting my face out there as much as I could. This is even before Facebook, but I was just internet, e-blast. So I'm sitting there in one of my first high-end homes, which is about $2 million. I'd done some other things, but this was like my big deal. And I was excited to do an open house. And so I dressed up beautifully in my custom suit, and I'm sitting there, and I opened the door. I put up my signs. I opened the door, and people started to stream in. And this one lady, I'll never forget her, walks in the door. She was Burberry from head to toe, spike heels, long dark hair flowing in the wind, and Chanel sunglasses, and Asian. She walks in, nose in the air, walks in, kind of looks around the house, then looks right at me, takes her Chanel sunglasses off, looks at me, and she says, I know you. I know you from Korea. I see your face all over the internet. I feel like you're my friend. And when she said that to me, I thought, wow, it's working. I looked up and said, dear God, thank you. It's working. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and doing more of it. And that's it. And the rest is history.
So you heard it. The impersonation last time, I think, was a little better. You went a little longer.
I thought it was better this time, but thank you very much. I liked my version this time. Thank you. I'll keep working on it.
You're listening to Money Matters with Dino. This segment is brought to you by Citywide Home Loans. If you have any questions about your mortgage, current rates, programs, or you're looking to buy a new home or investment property, or maybe even looking to buy a new yacht, give us a call at 949-720-1616 and let me help. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help you. We're here to help you put together the right team and make the right financial decisions for you and your family. Call us at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616, or check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. Stick around after the break. Phil gets to test me on my knowledge on the Ask Dino questions. And again, these are the questions that you, the listener, have either emailed us, Facebooked us, or even Twitter, right?
Yeah, tweets.
Right.
We've been getting tweets on this.
In the meantime, thank you for spending time with me. And remember, don't get real estate rich, get rich. Your financial future is in your hands. We'll be right back.
Alliance Portfolio is a licensed real estate broker. California DRE broker license 01868859, NMLS 324460.
Are you looking to diversify or add real estate secured investments to your portfolio? Did you know that investing in trust deeds can provide a better return with better security than many other alternate investments? For over 20 years, Alliance Portfolio has been providing the highest quality mortgage fund and trust deed investment opportunities with first-class service and communication. Alliance Portfolio offers well underwritten loans, low loan-to-value ratios, and all secured by prime Southern California coastal community real estate. At Alliance Portfolio, we don't just lend money, we lend our expertise. Call 949-349-1322 today to capitalize on a special opportunity. That's 949-349-1322. Investors, when our job is done, your job is easy. Sit back and capitalize. 949-349-1322.
Mortgage professionals, are you looking for a company that values you as a loan officer? One that can provide you with the tools you need to grow your business at your pace? Then look no further than CHL Mortgage. CHL Mortgage provides you with a full range of residential loan products and services. You'll be backed by an exceptionally trained team of professionals that can take your clients as seriously as you do. Your clients will be treated with dedicated service, personal integrity, and exceptional professionalism. You'll be able to guide them in the right loan with competitive rates and keep them on the road to achieving life's goals. At Citywide Home Loans and CHL Mortgage, you will experience as much success as you want. Whether you close a small volume or are a big producer, you matter to us. We provide you the tools and resources you need, when you need them, to build your business the way you want. We offer training and marketing assistance by professionals to help you meet and exceed your financial goals. To get started on advancing your career, call Dino with CHL Mortgage at 949-720-1616. That's CHL Mortgage, 949-720-1616.
Finally, a reputable legal firm. City A Law Center, a nationally recognized nonprofit homeowner advocate, one of the most trusted firms in the country for helping consumers with their loan modification process. CDA's attorneys have decades of combined experience guiding their clients through the very complex and choppy waters of loan modification. Call 877-499-4435, 877-499-4435. Finally, honest and ethical advice to gain real results. Call CDA Law Center at 877-499-4435. That's 877-499-4435, or check them out online at cdalawcenter.com.
Thank you for hanging with us. This is Money Matters with Dino. I'm your host, Dino Katsiametis, and I'm here to give you the tools and information to build a secure and strong portfolio using real estate and other investment tools. If you have any questions and want to get a hold of me or any of the guests you've heard here today, give us a call at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616, or check us out online at moneymatterswithdino.com. This next segment is brought to you by CDA Law Center, expert loan modifications and decades of legal experience. All right, Phil, this is it. It's the Ask Dino part, and I know we call it Ask Dino, but I know how much you want to be Stump Dino. So,
no, Ask Dino is cool. Yeah, because I can't stump. I only stumped you once, and it was because it really wasn't a mortgage question.
And I think I just let you have that one.
I think you did,
just because you needed a little something.
I needed
that
a win.
Week. Yeah. So go for it. Let's see what we got.
All right. I keep hearing that interest rates are going up, but they haven't yet. What's going on? When should I lock in my rate?
So that's a great question, and it's a little aggravating for me because as a lender, I deal with interest rates all the time, and literally, I mean, I can get up to go to lunch or the bathroom for that matter, come back and the rates changed. Now, and it could change significantly, right? But significant is 1/8 of a point or 1/4 of a point, and that's all they've done. It's been on this 1/4 point roller coaster, so they're still under 4%, and people freak out. Because rates went up, but guys, they're under 4%. I mean, they may not be that 3 1/4 or 3 1/2, but they're 3 3/4.
Right.
I mean, it's not a big deal. And when should you lock your interest rate? Immediately. Lock it right away. Rates are extremely low. If they drop more, refinance again. It doesn't cost anything anymore. These days, it's like all free, and I don't want to say it's easy. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but whatever. I mean, you just do it. I've done the same people a few different times, and I don't feel bad that I'm saving them money every time.
Right.
Okay. So lock in your rate. Don't freak out. Don't try and don't sit on the fence and think you're going to hit the rock bottom. You're losing money every time you do. Every single month you didn't refinance, you're losing money.
Student loans are a huge part of my budget, more than my mortgage. Should I refinance to make it one payment if I have the equity?
Wow. Student loans are a huge part of my budget, more than my mortgage.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of student loans.
Student loan payments are actually fairly cheap. So, I mean, I guess I'm not even going to answer that question other than if your student loan payment is higher than your mortgage, you're a friggin' idiot. How many years did you go to school for? And how are you not making...
Don't say that. This might be an attorney that just got out of school.
Okay, you're a friggin' idiot. How do you have student loan payments that high? You're not making a ton of money by now.
I see.
Crazy.
All right.
Higher than your mortgage?
All right. What are your thoughts on 0% APR credit cards for a limited time to help with paying down small debts?
All right. That is a good question. I do have opinions on that. So I guess I'm okay with it, right? Because sometimes it could be beneficial. However, as a whole, in general, I'm very much against credit card debt. And the reason why is because no matter how good of a plan sometimes I come up with for people, they never follow it. So you say I'm only going to do this, right? Or you're going to do a cash out deal and you're going to pay off a few things, your credit cards, and your mortgage payment only went up $100, but you're saving $900 a month on credit card bills. So that makes good sense. You're getting out of debt. Everything's going to be wonderful. And lo and behold, a year later, guess who calls me again?
Who?
The same person that was in credit card debt the year before. So my fear is that most people that get themselves in credit card debt somehow always stay there.
Yeah. So,
you have a 0% APR credit card, and you could if you were financially very brilliant and
disciplined. Really.
Disciplined is the right word, right? Then you could use it to your advantage. But most people, I think, would end up getting themselves in bigger trouble. Work hard, save money, pay debt off fast, and don't allow yourself to get back in debt. And, somebody also had said one time, I'm going to cut those credit cards up. You can do that, and that'll solve the problem. But to me, the true power is in having those credit cards next to you and not using them.
Right. So
in case you just jumped into your car, this is Dino, and you're listening to Money Matters with Dino here on KTLK AM1150. I guess you can take that part out. You can reach us at 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616, or at moneymatterswithdino.com.
All right, let's keep going here. Where can I invest my money that's low risk? I'm afraid of how up and down the stock market is, and I don't know about real estate.
Lots of different avenues. My expertise, obviously being in real estate, I love trust deed investments. And, we've had Alliance Portfolio on a few times, and they've created these mortgage funds. So you don't even have to really do it as much anymore. You can just park the money in there. They will manage it. And I can vouch for them. They do a great job underwriting the files and making sure that the properties that they lend on not only are good, solid properties that they don't feel will drop if anything goes wrong.
Right.
Mostly coastal type community properties, all investment type properties. And you can get in with as little as $5,000. Basically, that money will be spread out over several different properties, and it's like playing bank. So I like it. It's one of those things where the wealthy have been doing it for years, and most normal people don't know anything about it. But the fact of the matter is you can also be involved in it, and you have your money secured by real estate. And it's not like 100% financing. I mean, there's a ton of equity in this property. Otherwise, they don't do the loan.
Right.
So if anything goes wrong, you get this property back with equity.
And it's not like you're just doing it in one piece of property either, which is pretty cool.
Right. The other thing, too, just quickly, is investment properties. Buying real estate, investment properties is fantastic.
Yep. Okay, if the real estate agent representing the buyer knows of a flooding problem, do they have to disclose this information to the buyer?
As a licensed real estate agent, you absolutely have to disclose everything to the buyer. They're buying a home and they're entrusting you, and you have
okay,
to
but how do you prove, if you're the buyer, how do you know that anybody knew there was a problem in the first, or that the agent knew there was a problem in the first place?
Well, the question said if the agent knew about it, right?
Right. Well, of course. Okay.
You didn't ask me how they knew about it. If they find out about it, yeah. If they find out about it and they don't say anything in order to close the deal, then shame on them. That's criminal to me.
Yeah.
That is absolutely criminal. You don't deserve to be licensed. You don't deserve to be helping people.
Yeah, that makes me think somebody kind of actually had that situation happen to them. How does a real estate lease option work?
So I'm actually, since Andrew's still here, I'm going to let him answer that question, because This is a great question.
So yeah, there are. It's not as easy these days, but in the days the properties weren't moving and sellers were a little more desperate, they'd be a lot more open to lease option scenarios. And again, it was harder to get loans, so buyers were and sellers were trying to find a way to come together. And so that would be where they would do a lease option, where it's actually two transactions. It's a lease and a purchase and an option document that binds the two together. So they agree to let's say a lease at $5,000 a month for a year period, or whatever period they want, 2 years, a year. And they agree to a purchase price whenever this lease is going to end, the term, and then the option is deciding how much option money they're going to put down that is non-refundable. So let's say it's generally rule of thumb. There are no rules, hard, fast rules, but it's generally about 10% of the purchase price. So it's not a full down payment, but it's 10% to show good faith. That becomes non-refundable. Then at the end of whatever term they agree upon, a year, 6 months, 2 years, they have the option to purchase the home. Well, if they don't take that option, the seller keeps the money. So of course they're going to do it. They wouldn't put the money up front. But what I advise potential buyers who are doing that now is don't do it, because you give that money to somebody, 10% of $1 million home, that's $100,000. What between now and 2 years from now, what if that seller forecloses and you don't know? It all looks good on the outside. Everything looks fine on the outside. You don't know what's going on the inside. Your money is gone. Wow. There's no safeguard. So it's scary.
Okay.
So I don't advise lease options. And nowadays homes are moving, so the sellers are not as incentivized to do it anyway. There you go.
Thanks, Andrew. Great questions today, guys. Thank you so much for sending them in. I love that so many of you are buying homes and getting informed. And as I love to say, don't just get real estate rich, get rich. Well, that's the end of our show today. You've been listening to Money Matters with Dino. If you have any questions about anything you heard today here on the show, or want to speak to any of the guests that you heard, don't wait. Pick up the phone and get the answers you need. We're here to help. Call 949-720-1616. That's 949-720-1616. And or you can find us online at moneymatterswithdino.com. And both of our guests will be on our website as well. If you need to get their information, you can contact them directly from there. Thanks to my expert panels this week, Billy Torbitt, owner of Newport Yacht Service, and Andrew Karigan from Teles Properties. Thanks, guys. Also, a big thanks to my producer, Phil Giagrande, for all the hard work you do, Phil. Thank you so much, and I appreciate all the research and everything. And also a very special big thank you to you, the listener. And you're really the reason why I come on air every week. I love doing the show, and I truly hope that you get as much out of it as I do. If you missed any part of the show and you'd like to hear it, you can catch us online at moneymatterswithdino.com or even our YouTube station, which is Power Players Radio. Thank you all so much for listening. Remember, don't just get real estate rich, get rich. Bye for now.